welcome to She Got Me Pregnant. This is a special episode for us because we are also submitting it as part of the It Gets Better project, which was started by columnist Dan Savage in response to the recent string of bullying-related suicides of kids who were LGBT or thought to be. So we wanted to make this as our contribution to the project and to talk about how things do indeed get better after high school.
And so I guess the concept is if you're teased, if you're feeling bad in high school, just to have something out there to say, hey, it does get better. Mm. And so I guess the idea is that we're normal. Is that the concept here?
We've survived, I think. More than we're normal. We've survived.
Why would people want to be like us? Is what I was going to say.
No.
Why not? Right?
Why not?
So yeah, sure. Well, that's what we do every week. Is we just kind of put ourselves out there as an example of what our little life is like. Mm-hmm. We're not particularly. I don't think we're particularly special, but so we videotape ourselves anyways. And some people like it, and we've
been doing it for over 2 years now. So
yeah. And we do get great letters and email from folks actually around the world who say, I'm the only one in my town, and I found you on the web, and
it's great to see others. Yeah,
I watch your videos just because, I hope I see that there's the possibility of a normal, fairly normal relationship,
whatever normal is.
But so I'm laughing, but actually those notes are really very meaningful, and I really appreciate getting them. And that's part of why we do this, is that every now and then it seems to mean something to somebody. Yeah. And that's pretty great, actually. Yeah. If we can actually influence someone's life and make them happier.
And I have to say, looking back, I never would have expected myself to be at this point in my life doing what I'm doing now when I was in high school. I think I am a very different person. I wasn't out in high school, even to myself. So I wasn't bullied in high school or teased about my orientation, because I didn't even know what my orientation was. And yes, so I guess that for me was a non-issue, but I was teased for the red hair and having the last name Rudolph and red hair. People make the obvious jokes, and that just got old after a while. And I also think being one of the smarter kids in a class of, I had kind of a mediocre public high school, and being one of the ones who actually enjoyed being at school and learning, that kind of made me a target for teasing. The nerd thing. Yeah. So.
Everyone gets teased during school. I hate to say it. I mean, kids can be really cruel. And actually, I keep asking, our son about it. Is he getting teased about anything? Maybe kids are getting even gentler. I mean, his age group. He's still young. But I can remember getting teased about all kinds of stuff. I was a fat kid, so...
Which I can't believe now. Well, there's not much to her here.
It was Helen Watermelon. And it's out there. And I just was. And I've always been kind of boyish, so I was a tomboy, and I still get called sir, and I just, got used to it. And I always reply, yes, very sweetly back, and they go, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and up until I let my hair grow in high school or something, I would get that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't project that sort of butch image these days, but when I was a kid...
They've never seen her in the kitchen. A total butch in the kitchen. Okay, you're right. But I used to get teased about being smart too. In fact, I was telling Dana about this earlier. When I was in elementary school, kids thought I had a British accent. I'm from California, and so I'm not quite a valley girl, but I grew up in a very much a Spanish-speaking population, and I speak like this, and they thought I was British. So, everyone gets teased about something.
Yeah, but that's not to say that there isn't a point at which the teasing becomes endangering and bullying and needs to be reported. And I think it is up to parents and teachers to be aware of that and to step in when it does reach that level where somebody is seriously at risk, either physically or emotionally.
Yeah, kids, there's no escaping it these days. I mean, because we would get bullied in school, but then you go home and you have a little break, right? But it seems now to follow everybody around because everyone has these pagers and these texting things. And so I think there's a lot more pressure because you don't escape it because that cell phone just follows you around. And I don't know what the solution is, but there is a solution. Okay. Off the cuff here, we're going to try to come up with 10 things to do if you're down in the dumps. Mm-hmm. You first.
Talk to your parents, or parents.
Talk to a friend.
Mm-hmm. Talk to a teacher whom you trust.
Read a book or a biography about somebody who you really admire.
Mm-hmm. Look online for examples of other people today who are making a difference and who may have been teased or bullied about the same thing that you're getting teased or bullied for.
Write us. You can vent, you can ask a question, or write somebody.
Yeah, we're not professionals by any means, but sometimes it helps just to get it off your chest. So leave a comment. 10 things. Let's see. Pressure.
I have one.
Sure.
Take a walk. Just put the cell phone down and just clear your head. Go take a walk. It's fall here in New England, and we have the beautiful trees and leaves out, and just go find something to enjoy.
Yeah, and jumping off of that, I would say find something beautiful in the world, whether it's by taking a walk or reading a poem. Find some bit of beauty and inspiration to keep you going. Pet your cat or your dog.
That's right.
Or your stuffed animal. Find some other creature who would notice if you were gone and who would miss you and who depends on you.
Get involved in a community project, a theater group, or maybe there's a talk group at school. Yeah. I'm sure you think there's no kid else in the world just like you, but I bet there is, or I bet there's a lot, and a lot really similar, and probably right around the hallway from you in your school.
Mm. And there are resources online, certainly, to find people. And you have to be careful. Obviously, there are people who pose as people online who aren't really whom they seem. The Trevor Project, which is a youth suicide hotline, is a great resource, and they're at trevorproject.org. And I believe they have a social network that kids can sign up for, and I'm not quite sure how they monitor it, but I would imagine that's a safer way to connect with other kids in similar situations than just going out on Facebook or some random forum. So they're definitely a resource to check out.
I think that's a great note to end on. Great reference.
There's life after middle school and high school, and who knows
Thank
who
heavens.
you will be then. Because we are certainly very different people than we were in high school.
Indeed. So, hope you're having a good day. Hope tomorrow's a better one. And thanks for tuning in.
'Cause my